So the first one, which I know is a question that philosophers have been pondering for millennia, but I thought we'd start with something nice and easy, which is the role of the spirit in spirituality. Because I think, particularly for most of Western civilization, let's say, we've become awfully secular, and those words, spirit and spirituality, are almost seen as anathema to day-to-day life, but they are extremely important. And I just want to understand from you the importance of the role of spirituality and indeed that which we refer to as the spirit in our lives.
It's a great question. And I'm going to just start off more in terms of evolution, that because I think a lot in terms of evolution, and that, it's part of our evolutionary path to feel separate
Mm,
and to live inside this narrative of an ego self, and to feel, limited and small and separate. And what that does is we feel disconnected from others.
yeah,
That creates, loneliness, anxiety, depression, but also separate and superior uh, over non-human animals
yeah,
and the earth. So what happens? We end up violating each other. We're cruel to animals. We damage maybe irretrievably
yeah,
our larger body, the earth. So I'm just starting there because
yeah,
in a way, it's like we're suffering from mistaken identity. We identify as
yeah,
Vikas or Tara, and rather than sensing this shared field of awareness, this interconnectedness that is really more the truth. So
mm,
through evolution, we have gained these capacities to sense our connection, to collaborate, to have empathy and compassion. And really what we're discovering is our belonging to a larger whole. And
wow,
that is
yeah,
what, for me, the essence of spirituality is the realization of a larger truth of who we are. And,
yeah,
we touch this. It's like everyone has touched it because it's what we are. We touch it in births and deaths. The awe at nature. When we're really intimate with someone, we sense there's something larger, the who we are. And then, of course, with meditation and
yeah,
prayer, psychedelics, dance, music, art. So, what I think of is that there's all these words people use: oneness, wholeness, awareness, sacredness, divinity, God, spirit, and they all point to that same field of light or awareness
mhm,
that's animating everything. And when we realize that we all are made of that and we belong to that, there's a natural reverence. You know what I mean? There's a
yeah,
natural we naturally respect the inherent value of all beings. And I thought maybe what I do, if
yeah.
you're interested, is just share a personal example
Please, yeah,
in my
please do.
life that when I was in college, I had my future was kind of marked out. I was
Mm,
going to go to law school, and I was a social activist. This was the 1970s. So left-wing activists, and,
yeah,
marked by the traditional, anger, us, them, the bad guys were the landlords and the police and the conservative politicians, and we were fighting the good fight, rallies and
yeah,
meetings and the like. And then on Tuesday nights, I started going to yoga and meditation class. And I'll remember, because just one spring evening, and I was walking home, and the fruit trees were flowering. There was all the scent of,
yeah,
blossoms, and I stopped. I paused, and I realized that my body and my mind were in the same place
yeah.
at the same time.
Wow.
And there was not just kind of some peace and clarity. There was a real sense of connectedness with the whole world. And I had this realization that all the transformation I was fighting for, it had to come from that consciousness. And
Wow.
I made a 180-degree shift. Instead of law school, I joined a spiritual community, an ashram where I could just dive deep into practices that would keep revealing, you know,
Yeah.
interconnectedness. So I've come back to activism. Like I'm a deep believer that we all need to be, it's our world, it's part of us,
Absolutely.
engage, but from caring, not from that sense of dividedness.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to share a personal example of how, you know,
Yeah.
what we're calling spirituality, belonging to the whole, actually really informs everything.